it's Jennifer Vatsa from Belladonna's Botanicals. Um, Tonight I want to talk to you about lessons learned and also why I give you a lot of instructions when it comes to my flying ointments, tinctures, and herbal smoke blends. Because things I should know better, but didn't know better about. So, as I've mentioned before in some of my other videos, is that I am doing medical ketamine treatments for my depression, which have been working amazing. They're really great for doing, um, you know, it's helped me with my trauma healing. It's helped me with shadow work. It's like enhanced my spirituality immensely. I may do a separate video just kind of talking a lot about just specifically about my ketamine experiences. But the last time I went to go do a ketamine experience, I had a really bad reaction to it. Like, because ketamine is something, if you're not familiar, outside of the, psychedelic drug use or medical use of it, is ketamine is something that is used in as like an anesthetic when you're having surgery. So what happened was when I did the ketamine treatment in the evening, it hit me so hard so fast. I felt like I was stuck. If you've ever had surgery and gone under, I felt like I was in that state of about to lose consciousness. And I wasn't sure I was going to remember how to breathe, which is a really scary feeling. Thankfully, I also have sleep apnea and I have a CPAP machine. So I put my CPAP machine on just in case, I don't know if I was going to forget breathing or not. And, it hit me really hard and really fast. I got super hot. Like I got that like dry fever, which should have been an indicator of what the issue was, but I didn't realize this till later. In that dry fevers, if you've never had one, don't get one. They're not great. Actually, regular fever is much better because you sweat it out. A dry fever is when your temperature is elevated and you don't sweat it out. So you're just really hot and uncomfortable for like several hours. That is also a side effect of some of the nightshades, belladonna, datura, all that. So, anywho, this experience was so jarring to me that night because usually when I do my ketamine treatments, it's just like a nice slide into a little trippy kind of nap-like zone, and it's a little spinny feeling. But this was like really an awful feeling. I felt like I was going to lose consciousness. I felt like, my body felt really weird. I was really hot. I couldn't get into the mental state that I normally easily just slip into when I do ketamine. So, and I sat there for a while and I was like, afterwards, I came out of it. The CPAP machine, and I also just kind of used my phone to keep myself kind of like consciously active, helped me bring out. I came out of it within maybe about 20 minutes, and it took me another hour or two to really fully readjust. But ketamine treatments usually last about an hour, into that like experience. But it was just like real. I was like, what the happened? Because I've done it like so many times before. I mean, this was maybe my ninth ketamine treatment. So I was like, what the hell just happened? And I made an appointment. I messaged my guide, and I set up a follow up with the doctor, and we went. I'm like, did I eat something? Did I eat too close? Did my Adderall affect it? Did this, that? And then he happened. Luckily, he noted this during the intake that I was an herbalist. He was like, well, did you did you have any different herbs that day or come in contact with any herbs? And I checked my little, what I did on that day. And I'm like, well, I literally spent my day making a batch of flying ointments in which I handled datura, belladonna, the last of my precious European mandrake, henbane. I probably, handled some mugwort and wormwood in there, some lotus, and then the trifecta was having made two different of my herbal smoke blends. The Diabolica one, which has belladonna, brahmansia, and datura in it, I believe, and a couple other things, and my down the rabbit hole, which has fly agarlic in it. So I hit all them herbs Now, while I did not smoke anything, while I did not apply any of the flying ointments, just for me handling the herbs and inhaling the particulate from having ground up the herbs while making the smoke blends was enough to affect that. So this is why I have a warning on all my products that say, do not use within, I forget the period of time, within 2 weeks of having major surgery. So, because what happened was I got the anesthetic effect of the ketamine versus the therapeutic psychedelic effect of the ketamine, because the overload I had in the system from all the nightshades and the fly agaric mushrooms really, it was just too much for my system. So lesson learned, and happy to pass on that knowledge. But well, it was funny during the consultation with the doctor. He's like, "Yeah, I saw the look on your face when you made the connection of them." I'm like, "Oh, And the thing is, I didn't even think about it. Like, I make stuff all the time, and we kind of joked at the end of the session, and he's like, "Yeah, maybe do your ketamine treatments on like soap making days." I'm like, "Yeah, they're funny." But yeah, so that's just something to take into effect, that if you are whether it's like a dental procedure or a minor surgical procedure, be careful to have not use those products right, in a period of time before then, so it clears out of your system. And everyone's system processes things differently. Like the problem was I was, with the smoke blends, I was packaging them right up until I went upstairs to do my ketamine treatment. So I'd inhaled all the stuff, I'd been touching stuff all day, and it was still in my system, even though I wasn't feeling any, noticeable effects from having handled any of that. I still had been absorbing the chemicals from those plants into my body for that entire day. And then when I did the ketamine, it really fucked me up. So take it from me and my better living through chemistry, that when I put these warnings on things, they are there for a reason. And it's not a fuck around and find out reason. I mean, we all have different metabolisms and physiologies. They're safe to use with like cannabis or something like that. So it's not that you can't combine them with other things. I know people who have. I would just say if it's something that has an anesthesia like quality to it, I would be very careful. So anyways, yeah, lesson learned from the straight from the source. What do they say? What's the saying about, swallowing your own medicine, or taste of your own medicine. That's it, or something. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. I was like completely mortified and embarrassed, because I'm like, I should have known better. Because I'm the one that like writes the product safety labels on it. So take it from me. Don't fuck around and find out when it comes to that stuff. So anyways, while on the subject of flying ointments, tinctures, and smoke blends, I am working on our website, Belladonna's Botanicals. It's a little bit under construction at this point. I've just had so many issues with different platforms, including, if you saw recently, I had issues with content on my own website and PayPal's payment processing. So I had to remove a lot of things. Some of it I've shifted to eBay, but eBay, the smoke blends go against eBay's tobacco policy, even though they don't have tobacco in them. But I'm tired of arguing this, and no one cares about these places, so nor do they get it. So I'm trying to make a process in which it's easier to order these things without it, pinging, a direct sale through any of my payment processors, because eBay is such a freaking cluster F to navigate when you're searching for something. Like, I can't even find my own damn products when I'm like clicking in there, and for whatever reason, when I go, like, there doesn't seem to be any way to like alpha search them. I'm like, why do I care about searching by newly listed or expiring first? There's no option to sort by alphabetical. Very annoying. So if you go to the Poison Path section of Poison Path products, there's like an order form. So what I would be doing, And just keep in mind that I am going to be out of stock of some things because I still have not secured a new source for mandrake root at this time of January 2023. So there's like an order form. It goes to me. I will create a custom listing for you, or send you an invoice, and you can just pay me by Venmo, PayPal, whatever, and we'll process it that way. It's I've just had so many issues with things on Etsy, with things, now on my own website, with things on eBay, and I didn't even bother trying to get them on Amazon. So, anyways, I just don't want to run into issues with having things flagged or losing my payment processing. So, anyways, that aside, have a good evening and infernal blessings, y'all.